Hello YouTube. I wanted to talk about a subject that is a little close to home. Uh, I'm just gonna dive right into it. The other night, a streamer by the name of Nitro Camden was streaming. He's about 18 years old and got raided by by a really big streamer. What was his name? Stable Ronaldo? I don't personally know Stable Ronaldo or any of these people, but this was a video that I happened to kind of come across before I started stream tonight. And it was really just weighing heavy on my mind, and I've got some stuff to kind of really talk about. You know, it's something that I really needed to talk about, but his mother basically just straight up abused him on stream. I don't know the full situation, but he was physically hit a few times and even choked a little bit. And the kid's only 18 years old. And his mother was kicking him out right then and there. He got raided by, like I said, Stable Ronaldo. And he had, I don't know, like over 10,000 viewers in his channel or something like that. And this is a person who's been streaming to like no one for I think about 6 years. He started in 2020, if I got my facts right. I saw it in another video, I could be completely wrong. I didn't really fact check everything, I want to quickly talk about this, but everything in that video was it's a situation that I've experienced many times in my own household, and it's just so heartbreaking to see. I think as of talking about this right now, he is living with a friend. He was able to get out, and he has like started his journey to build on his own. And he's gained a bit of a following and some popularity from the incident, which I'm very glad. It was recorded live of him literally being beat by his own mother. And it's just really heartbreaking to see. Everything that has happened in that video has happened to me multiple times. Although I was never physically beat, my mother has said the same exact things to me, done the same exact things to me. She's unplugged my internet before, she's messed with my shit, she's... it's a situation that, quite frankly, like, kinda triggered some PTSD. I currently still live under abuse. I still live in my abusive home. I've never been able to escape. I'm 27 years old, but I am starting a job. Monday I'm starting training, which is in just a few days from now. And I still have a plan on how I'm gonna get out of here, but I've been kind of lying low and trying to do my best to escape this place. I just never had the luck. I don't have any personal friends. I don't have anybody in real life to really help. I live out in the country. I'm isolated. And I am a scapegoat of a narcissistic abusive system. So I kind of... I know what that's like. I know, like, that whole video was like an exact replay of things that I've experienced in my own life, and it was just like so hurtful to see. First of all, that mother should be in jail for literally assaulting his kid, and the reason she did it, we don't know the full situation, but just given the context, he got raided, got a little too excited, and her mom got annoyed by it, essentially, and came in and basically kicked him out. And it was like a kind of like a very obvious example of narcissistic abuse. My mother has done the same thing to me. I have been like conditioned to be afraid of being too loud, to being afraid of being happy or being excited, because I've literally been punished my entire life whenever that happens. And I mean, I don't hate my mom, but it's very unhealthy for me to be around her. My dad, on the other end, isn't really abusive, but he is kind of egotistical, and he's an addict. He's very self-destructive. But at least he doesn't like abuse me like my mom does. She's very controlling, very manipulative. So I know exactly how he probably felt in that video. And he did a good job at remaining somewhat calm. But to anybody like experiencing the same thing, obviously the best thing you can do is get out. Lie low and get out. I've adopted gray rock methods for over the years that have helped out quite a lot. And these slimes are now plopping all over the place around here. But in my situation was a little bit more complex. I wouldn't say it was worse or it was better. It doesn't really matter. But I've experienced a few breaking points where my mom was like really on me. I remember I was setting up for stream, and I mean, I know how that kid's gotta feel. Like, streaming has gotta be the only thing he has to look forward to in that situation. He's been at it for so long without any views, and it's probably his only goddamn hope of getting anywhere in this life. So, I know how that feels. I mean, I'm in a very similar boat myself with streaming and being an artist here. But it's not just a means of escape for me, it's also what I want to do with my life. It's my dream career. But my mother had pushed me to a breaking point once where I tried to defend myself. I tried to stand up and speak and stand up for myself, and that resulted in a very dangerous situation. Not physically, but she ended up calling the cops on me that night. This happened 2 different times, and unfortunately, unlike that video where if the cops were to call, or if they were called, since she was on camera beating her son, she probably would have been arrested. But I'm not even 100% sure if she would be, because the kid's an adult, and the world functions differently when you become an adult. They don't really have the same leeway, and my situation was unfortunately just like that. The cops came, and my mother like completely changed into a different person, and like exaggerated the situation to make it look like she was the victim. And the cops believed her, and they took her side, and I was left completely defenseless after what I thought I was doing the right thing, where I stood up for myself and basically told her I just can't live like this. I can't, like, you can't just keep telling me all these things to do, all these rules, and just by breathing I'm disrespecting her. Just my very existence is constantly pissing her off and disrespecting her. I tried to stand up for myself that night, and the cops took her aside and told me to basically like you need to get it under control or something like that. The second time was like the final nail in the coffin for me, and this happened like years ago. These slimes are slamming up the place. But the second time they came was a bit different. They took her side again, and one of the cops literally walked up to me and said, "If this happens again, I'm gonna have to arrest you." And I just said, "Okay." I realized, like, this is getting bad. Now they have the support of the cops behind them. When I've done nothing wrong, essentially. And all I did was try to defend myself and stand up for myself. I never physically assaulted her or anything like that. There's never been any physical contact, which I guess, if there isn't really any physical contact, the world kind of treats it differently, you know. That's been my experience with abuse. A lot of people just don't take it seriously until it's gone too far. Like, people on the outside looking in don't really see it as abuse unless somebody's like physically getting beat. And unfortunately, the cops, after telling me that, I went into some pretty deep depression. I was pretty scared, and I didn't really know what to do. I knew I needed to get out, but I didn't know how. And I've spent a lot of time going from job to job and trying to save the money, but I was already beaten down and withered from so many years of abuse. I just didn't have the energy to hold on to the jobs I was working at the time to have enough money to escape. I'm hoping that he's in a better situation financially, at least. It seems like. I'm hoping he's able to escape and get a job, have some sort of income to live on his own, away from that place. And it seems like he's staying at a friend's house right now. So, that's good. The worst is over. Hopefully. But I hope this raises awareness for people who live under abuse. I wish there was more resources available to adults that live under abuse. It's not just kids that go through this, but there's plenty of young adults that have never escaped, like me. And the system really kind of treats you differently when you're an adult. I've tried plenty of options. I've tried public services. I've tried 211, which is like essentially public services as well. Excuse me. I've done social services. I've done emergency housing, which was gonna take way too long for a thing with emergency in the name. They're not really quick to act. That was kind of a no-go. I tried that like over a year ago, and to even get heard, I had to submit a ticket that would take a year for them to even go through the system and validate, to even like get a chance to talk to someone. I had to submit a ticket with a 1-year waiting queue. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to move out like today. Either way, I've tried the suicide hotline, I've tried what else? I don't know. I feel like I've burnt every option at this point. But I'm still trying. I'm still trying to pursue my career as an artist and a streamer and a VTuber. I've been doing this for like over 4 years now, and I'm confident eventually I can make it. My budget has just been very low and my personal life has been extremely difficult. There's just been so much on my plate for a very long time, and I never really had any help in my personal life. I've been really on my own, just trying to survive this. But I really hope this is able to bring awareness to those that are living under these kind of conditions. And I I hope this awareness begins to increase. I feel like this is something that isn't really talked about a lot. There's a lot of people who live under abuse or under toxic homes, and it's a really nasty situation. It's really difficult because I don't know. There's like a lot of stigmatism. There's a lot of entitlement when it comes to parents. There's a lot of social norms that are kind of cemented that give parents a lot of power over their children. Either way, there's no excuse for abuse at all. It's unacceptable behavior. And people who are like that just don't deserve to be parents in the first place. They're really shitty people. But there are a lot of people out there that are just like that. Not because they're evil, but because they just don't know any better, and that's really unfortunate. That you can get to that age where you can have children, but you don't know any other way to raise your children other than like helicopter parenting or abusing them, or just like, I don't know, it's my way or the highway type of deal. Either way, people like that deserve a better future. I think the world is already hard enough as it is. And with the way the economy is, the way society is, it's already hard for a normal individual, let alone people who are in abuse. I mean, I've been surrounded by it my whole life, and in my local area there seems to be quite a high amount of pretty nasty households. I've witnessed some pretty disgusting stuff in my time. With friends and distant family members going through some nasty situations, being physically abused, or living under like a hoarding house. I've seen like literal children stuck with the worst people you can imagine, living under really impoverished conditions, and just, it's kind of like a topic that I feel like isn't really discussed enough, but it's also something that most people, I guess, don't really deal with, which is probably why. But it's something that it hits close to home with me. I hope everybody has, a chance of escaping these kinds of situations, and hopefully Nitro Camden here is able to live a better life now that he has separated from his mother. Hopefully for good. Hopefully he's able to get on his feet. He seems to have gained quite a bit of a following, so that's definitely a good start in the right direction. Either way, my heart kind of broke when I saw that video, and I just really had to talk about it, so that's kind of it for me tonight. And maybe I'll make more YouTube videos. Who knows? Probably not. I just wanted to get this off my chest and just share my thoughts on the subject. And I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.